Okay. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this evening. Welcome to the 74th of hopefully many episodes of Bard Advice, a D&D slash TTRPG slash nerd podcast where I, Charles Chaz Yazik, the DM, the Bard, however you may know me, try and answer any questions that you might have. Thank you all for joining. Thank you all as well for the happy birthday wishes. I am 37 today, and I feel every bit of it. But I really appreciate everybody showing up for the pod. I hope everybody's doing well and having a good day. Before we get into things, at the top of the show, we like to remind everyone of the email, which is bardadvice@gmail.com. So any questions, concerns, complaints, criticisms, critiques, etc., stories from your campaigns, follow-up from other questions, just general wonderings or musings, send them over to bardadvice@gmail.com. It also looks like bardadvice, if that helps you remember. If you want to get some merchandise, you can do so over at manschwartz.com, or alternatively, you can go over to krakendice.com and get one of the 3 released so far dice sets that we've partnered with Kraken to make. The 4th one will be coming out soon. So that's krakendice.com to go and grab those. And then if you'd like to contribute to anything that I'm doing musically, you can do so directly via PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, all of which are Yazik, Yahzick. Also, at the top of the show, hello, Mom. Thank you. Thank you all, by the way, for all of the kind birthday wishes. It's appreciated. Also, yes, join the Discord. Rivers put a link in there if you're interested in joining that. Also, at the top of the hour, we like to thank all of our members, patrons, subscribers. Remind everybody to please like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and rate the podcast on your respective platforms. All of that stuff helps the algorithm, so it's much appreciated. Okay, so I think that's all the general housekeeping stuff we've got. Pirate said, yes, they've also added a Help a Bard Out channel for Discord for fundraising and charities, so that's dope. So, yes, if you're not already in the Discord, hop in there. It's a cool place. Cool, fun community. It's very chill, much like this show. Bard Advice. All right, so for Art Corner this week, there's a couple of things. This was a cool birthday thing that I didn't realize was happening until like the day before yesterday. So I'm not sure if everybody's interested, but if you are, I highly recommend going and checking out Eminem's new single, Houdini. There is a music video for it on his YouTube channel, and then the audio, I imagine, is available everywhere. It's probably exactly what you would expect it to be if you are or ever have been a fan of Eminem and his music. I know certainly for me, I was a major fan of his, and also he served as a major inspiration to get me into not just rapping myself, but also just like becoming a hip hop fan and like learning about the history and the lore and the culture, and it's really cool. So it's pretty crazy. He definitely has some stuff where I will note that it is more Slim Shady than Eminem, because he definitely says some things that I wouldn't consider to be too terribly questionable, but members of society at large will likely consider them to be controversial. So, but I still personally think the hardest bar in it is that lyrical technician, electrician, y'all light work. It's just a master at work to be able to flip that bar like 30 years into your career, and it's such a simple thing that I've never heard before. It's just pretty insane. Yes, River. This is like O2 Eminem. It gives me like Just Lose It vibes, or what was the other one on Relapse? We Made You. And the video is like not necessarily like a shot-for-shot remake, but there's a lot of nods in the video to, I think it was it Without Me, that music video with him and Dre, or it might have been Business, but I think it was Without Me. Yes, and Take a Leave, it'd be aspirin to break a feeve. Yeah, he's pretty crazy. So I recommend highly anybody going to check that out if you've ever been a fan of Eminem's. I think you'll really like it. Even if you haven't liked his last couple of albums, which, you know, he's been hit or miss for me, at least on albums, since 2010. Some of them I love, some of them I could do without. But I always have a lot of mad respect for him as an artist in general, and as someone who's inspired me to do it. So, plus this stuff is like old school. I think you'll really like it. So I encourage everybody to go listen to it. Also, My wife and I just finished watching this documentary on TikTok. Well, the documentary is on Netflix. It's about TikTok. It's Dancing for the Devil, the 7M TikTok cult. Now, let me just say, in my estimation, I don't know that it's like, I don't know. I guess it's considered a cult. I guess in its strictest definition. But for me, it just sounds kind of like a church. But it's very interesting. It's 3 episodes. I think it's worth the watch. I'd be curious to see what people's thoughts are on it because, it's tricky. It's tricky business for these people that get caught up in these kind of groups, and then they cut themselves off from their family. And then, what does the family do? What can they do? They're adults, right? I mean, it's not like these people are being, you could probably argue that they're being like physically manipulated, or excuse me, psychologically manipulated. But to my knowledge, at least, nothing's been shown, any kind of evidence that we've seen that there's any kind of like actual physical manipulation that's going on. So it's tough because it's like, well, you're in a cult, but then also you're an adult. So don't be in a cult. If you're an adult, don't be in a cult. And I guess don't be in a cult if you're a child either, but I mean, that's something that your parents should be teaching you. Don't look to me for that. Compare the actions of the group to the 7 signs of a cult. Oh, that's a good point. I guess I could do that. But it's a weird one, too, because it's more than just, like, the religion and the culty stuff, too. It's this guy who's, like, he kind of, like, puts the... You know how the streamers have those, like, creator houses where it's, like, 7 or 8 different artists or creators or streamers or whatever living in one house, and they all just kind of like work together to help like promote each other and push their stuff. He kind of got that, sort of kind of did that with like these dancers. And so they got these people that were dancers on TikTok that had like solid followings, and then they brought them in under this management umbrella or whatever, which is also a church. So I don't know. It's tricky. And he isolates from their families only at first. I think when people start to catch on to what he's doing and what's going on, he like changes his rules a little bit, and he's like, no, you have to spend time with your family, which is probably just like getting ahead of whatever's coming down the road for him. Did he control them financially? Yep. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so. Because the way he had it set up was that it was like they were paying him a management fee, and then they were also paying to the church, tithes to the church. And then they were also paying for, I think the one guy, when they broke it down, the one guy was like, by the time he gets to the end of it after taxes and stuff, he was getting like 10% of his earnings, which is really sad. It's really sad, but it's also really tough because it's like they're adults. It's not as clear cut as if it were like a minor, because then it's like, well, you're a minor, you can't choose. But adults can and do all the time. And when police get involved, they don't want to get involved unless they're going to for sure bring a conviction to the DA. And if it's a thing where they go and talk to the person and the person's like, I'm okay, I'm good, then it's like there's not much really they can do. So I don't know. I don't want to get like too soapboxy about it because we're still in Art Corner and we should be getting into questions. But I just thought that documentary is like fascinating. Be interested to see what people's thoughts are on it. So check it out. Hoo-wee. Okay, so that was a long Art Corner. Sorry, I got rambly. All right, let's get into it because we have questions tonight to get through. So the first question this evening is from Mark. And Mark asks, hi, Bard. In D&D 5e, do you collect feats or ability score increases based on every 4 character levels or class levels? This affects multi-class characters. For example, following character levels, a Ranger 5, Druid 3, Rogue 3... Whoops, there's supposed to be something in there. A Ranger 5, Druid... Oh, no. All right, let's try this again. For example, following character levels, a Ranger 5, Druid 3, Rogue 3 would have 3 feats or ability score increases. However, following class levels, you would have 1 feat or ASI. Looking forward to your answer. Okay, so the feats and ability score increases are offered based on your character level, not your class level. At least that's my understanding and what it always has been. So in your example, that character would have 3 feats or ability score increases because even though their levels are split, is it over 3? Even though their levels are split among different classes, their character is still level 12, right? So you would get the feat in ASI at level 4, level 8, and level 12. And that's how it always was in 3.5. You did ask specifically about 5e, but I'm pretty sure I think that 5e... Don't confuse me. I'm pretty sure that 5e is the same way that Baldur's Gate 3 works, which is that you get it every 4 levels, right? 4, 8, 12? So I think it's character level. I think that the only time that it would be... I think the only time you would even have to consider it being not just strictly character level is if there were like a level adjustment. So if your character was level 4, but you had like an LA of -1, then you're effectively level 3. So then you don't have that feat or ability score increase. Does that make sense? Character level. It's based on your character level. So however many classes you have, that has no bearing on, because the feat and or the ability score increase is just offered to every character at those levels. So yeah. Final answer. It's a character level. That would be terrible if it were based on class. But it's funny because we have another question this evening that's like kind of the opposite of this. So it seems like the class level is what gives ability score increase and or feat. Yeah. Oh, really? Whoa. Okay. Wow. So I'm sorry. According to chat, and I trust chat, it's class level in 5e. That seems really silly. That seems like another silly, stupid 5e thing. Why? What does that have to do with anything? Every character should be awarded that, regardless of what their class is, because... I wonder if it's because, like, less classes benefit from... You would think it would be character level. Okay, so don't listen to me, Mark. Sorry, it's not character level. It's class level. I'm learning. I'm figuring it out. You'd think it would be character level, but it's class level. So, yeah, I guess in your example, they would only have 1 feat or ability score increase. Because feats are pretty strong in 5e. Feats are strong in 3.5. What do you mean? Dude, I was the feat master in 3.5 with... Like, because I played fighters all the time, and you know, bonus feats. There's some there's like 1,300 feats or something in 3.5, and like half of them are busted, or at least like could be made busted by just building the right character. Fighters getting access to more feats than other classes can make them crazy. Yeah, most definitely. 3 and 4, 3.0 had 4 character level ASI and 3 character level feat. Oh, that's right. And then 3.5 just merged them. 5e has every 4-ish class level. I guess that kind of makes sense, because if you're multiclassing, it keeps you from being like a little OP. Because, I mean, with what is this character? It's a 6 druid, 3 rogue. No. 6 ranger, 3 druid, 3 rogue. Something like that. Having 3 feats or ability score increases on that's pretty nuts, because they're only level 12. So if you just did ability score increases, you could have like a 22 and something, which at level 12 seems kind of crazy. Feats are what made the martial classes in 3.5. Heck yeah. So, sorry for all the confusion, Mark, but in 5e, it's based on class level. So you would be actually correct in saying that that character would only have 1 feat or ability score increase. But I guess the benefit to that is that they get all this other stuff from that they wouldn't normally get in their own class from multiclassing in these other classes. So what they give up in ability score increase and feat, they gain in class features from rogue and from druid. 5e limits the attributes at 20. See? Well, there you go. So then you couldn't even realistically do it. At least, like, max something beyond a 20. Okay. Well, thank you for the question, Mark. Hopefully there's an answer in there for you. If that maybe that gives you incentive to try out 3.5. Or I mean, I guess that you could, well, not really. I mean, if it's hard built into the class level, I mean, you could make the exception if you wanted to. I probably would. All right. Well, thank you for the question, Mark. The next question that we have this evening is from Chris. We have a couple of Chris questions today. And Chris asks, "Hey, Chaz, hope all is well with you and yours. Also, happy birthday." Thank you. So the first question is birthday related. What did you wish for when blowing out the candles? And when singing happy birthday, do you do the cha-cha-chas or keep it old school? Hope you have a rocking birthday. Well, thank you, Chris. That's very kind of you. Thank you for the question. First of all, can't tell you what my wish is, or it won't come true. Do you know birthday rules? So I didn't have a cake this year, so I didn't blow out any candles. But I'm not much of a birthday guy, to be honest. Never been that big on birthdays. At least my own birthday. I mean, other people's birthdays, it's all right. It's nice, get them something nice. Let them know you love them. But I mean, I've never been huge on birthdays in general. It seems a little silly. I mean, I guess it's nice to have like a celebration day for yourself, and like certainly these days it feels like an accomplishment to make it through another year in this like increasingly crazy simulation type existence that we've gotten ourselves into lately. But I'm just not big on birthdays in general. I am 37, which is crazy to say out loud, and frighteningly close to 40. Although I appreciate that it isn't. I'm sure that there are some 40-plus-year-olds that are like, hey, man, just chill out. I'd love to be 37. So I hear you. But still, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know if anyone else feels this way, and maybe I've talked about this before, but I feel like when you're a kid, adults seem so adulty. You know what I mean? Like they seem so far away. I remember even as like a teenager, when I was like 15 and I worked at this summer camp, one of the counselors there was like 27. And I remember thinking like, whoa, 27, he's a real adult. I feel like the same thing. Granted, I have like more experience and more memories and more, I know more things and have seen and read more things, but I feel like I'm the same guy I've always been when I was like 10. So I think that's interesting. Wish 101. Yeah, I can't tell you what my wish is, man. Wish tends to backfire. Death by hubris, probably worded with spell, doesn't exist. Treat my birthday as a day to spoil those I care about. Have you say there's a comfy looking chair behind you? Oh, yeah, for sure. Oh, well, that's actually my couch. There's a couch. It's a short couch back there. Your old youth group used to sing happy birthday as nice as possible. Oh, yeah, so I totally forgot about the birthday thing. I don't do the cha-cha-cha thing. I just keep it. And I'll tell you what, nothing like happy birthday tells you about people's pitch and just like ability to understand tone and what it's supposed to be. But, I just kind of keep it chill and low and tenor and do the thing, and then it's done. Just clap and move on. Rocking the 40 bus. There's nothing wrong with that. Age is a state of mind. I was in a doctor's office one time, and there was this dude in front of me, this Asian guy, and he didn't look that old. He was probably like, he looked like he was like 60. But then the lady was like, is this really your birthday? Like she was confused because according to his ID, he was like 93 or something. And he was like, and he said to like the waiting room, he was like, oh, age is in here. I was like, whoa, dude, that's pretty cool. I mean, for me, I definitely feel it out here. I saw this dude the other day at the store, and he was wearing a shirt that looked like the logo of Bath and Body Works, but it said Back and Body Hurts. I was like, and I know that that's like a Walmart shirt, but I don't know. I just appreciate it, I guess, as I've gotten older. I can relate to that. When you were a 20-year-old in the Navy, the 25-year-old seemed so old and worldly. Yeah. About to give one of your players a luck blade. Cannot wait for him to wish to backfire on him. If RPG's taught us anything, it's that there's no strat stronger than XP. Wow, that's a good point. Birthday dinner. Yeah, just regular degular day for me, man. That's how my birthdays are. That's what I want for my birthdays, you know? And I feel bad because it's always like, people are always like, what do you want for your birthday? And I'm like, I just want to chill. Because I feel like I'm always kind of running around and doing stuff, even if it's of my own accord and decision, like, you know. And I'll probably work on stuff tonight. Obviously, like with this, I've got to still do the post for this, but I might, like, I'll probably write and stuff. So as long as I'm chill, I'm chill. Father's 94, nice. Favorite childhood memory, no back pain. Yeah, most definitely. That's like the most nostalgic thing. Is just you know, feeling like you could just run till your legs fell off. Happy birthday. Tress Mom has the same thing purposely today after mine. She doesn't celebrate her birthday all that much. Birthday, I was thinking, you know, I was thinking today, Birthday Town. When I was thinking about birthday questions, Birthday Town, there's a fun D&D like side quest. They go to Birthday Town, and I don't know, that'd be an easy setup. What if it was a thing where there were like, it was a town and it had 365 people and all of them had a different birthday, and it was every day of the calendar year. So every day it was somebody's birthday. And then maybe the thing is that they lost all the calendars. So now they don't know what time it is. They don't know whose birthday it is. And then it's caused a big rift in the village because people are arguing like, no, dude, I'm telling you, tomorrow's my birthday. Sounds fun. Birthday Town. Implement it and in a one shot near you. All right, we got to keep moving. We got more questions. Thank you for the question, Chris. The next question is from Robert, and Robert asks, "Hey Charles, happy birthday! Thank you. A few weeks ago, Gabe asked you about Wizards of the Coast and their rush to stamp their IP on as many things as possible. I thought you should know Destiny 2's upcoming expansion includes D&D themed cosmetics. Also, I saw that Paramount Plus has canceled the planned D&D series. Instead, the show will undergo a creative update and be shopped out to other interested parties, whatever that means. Thoughts? Thanks." Wow, thank you for the question, Robert. As for Destiny 2, I don't know. Well, for one, I'm not shocked to see that, right? Like I said that, I think, a couple of weeks ago when I talked about it. I think we're going to see that all over the place. Don't be surprised if there's like D&D in like in Fortnite at some point. Like I know that I heard recently they're going to be dropping like Hogwarts Legacy DLC this summer. I wouldn't be too shocked to see if that works its way into there at some point within the next year or so. Okay. So I've never really played Destiny 2. Here's the visuals, though. I actually made up a thing for people to check out. This is, I guess, like what the visuals for the thing. I don't know really how Destiny works, but so I guess they've got kind of like a mind flayer there, like a displacer beast, and then I don't know. Is that supposed to be like an owlbear or something? Well, no, that's definitely an owlbear there on the right, but I'm trying to think of like what the other thing the suit is. Oh, I guess it's probably based on like a gold dragon. And then these things, which I guess are like your modes of transportation or something. I don't know. I think they look pretty cool. I don't think that there's necessarily anything wrong with it, but koozies. Oh man, that would be cool. Yeah, I'm not shocked about that. With Destiny, like I said, I think you're going to see that all over the place. We're already seeing it kind of integrate all over the place. And honestly, like I can't fault Wizards for doing that. Now, as for the series, so yeah, undergoing, what did it say? Undergoing a creative update. That screams AI to me. Like at least from like an implementation standpoint. And like probably, it's funny. I think a lot of people might be thinking that like these studio houses are going to be using the AI to like write scripts and actually generate the stuff, and they will be doing that. But what they'll also be doing is they'll have a team of people, probably like one or two people, whose job it is to talk to the AI and ask the AI about its opinions on things as to like the success and like get stats and numbers and stuff. It's not 100% reliable right now, but I think that we are close enough to getting there that these studios are more comfortable with being like, listen. Do we need to pay all of these people? Because when it comes to film production or like the production of a series, there's a lot of things to take into account in terms of cost. And one of those things is like travel. And obviously, like shoot days that, you think that you're just going to go, look, we're just going to go out and we're just going to get a shot in this field. It's 2 scenes. That could take you all day. It could take you several days. That 6th episode of the last season of Game of Thrones, the one that, or maybe it was it the 3rd episode or the 6th episode? The one that was all dark, where it was like a directorial choice to make it like natural light. I think that it took them like 6 weeks to shoot that episode. So if AI can help them not do that, they're going to do that. So as for the series, according to a PC Gamer article that I read earlier, the D&D series was created by Red Notice director Ross and Marshall Thurber, who penned the pilot and was also set to direct the opening episode. Now, though, a new creative team will be brought in. That means, I said that means AI. It 100% means AI, maybe 2 to 3 real artists. Wizards of the Coast is making a Monopoly movie, which is just like, okay. I mean, it'll probably make some money. It might flop. But I said, here's the thing about Hasbro. D&D might offer them the highest potential earnings than any other property, except for maybe Magic, just because of like, D&D, it's like a way of life, But and that movie kind of flopped, right? Like, I mean, it made $50 million, but that's not a lot in the scheme of things as far as like the kind of money that movies make these days. I mean, how much did Barbie make? Didn't Barbie make like $1 billion in like 2 weeks? You can't. Monopoly's not going to do that. Like, people aren't even going to the movies anymore these days. I was thinking, I'm thinking maybe of going to see Wolverine and Deadpool. When does that come out? Oh, well, thank you. No worries, Daryl. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. When does the Wolverine Deadpool movie come out? Wolverine Deadpool. July 26th. I might actually go see that because it takes a good movie to pull me out to the movie theater. But I might actually go see the Wolverine Deadpool movie just because it looks really cool. But all of that's to say, like, people don't go to the movies. Certainly not like they used to. The real money from Barbie was merchandising. Well, that too, right? Good God. I mean, go to the movies if there was something worth watching in the theater. Yeah, true. And that's not going to improve, likely. It makes me wonder if once these studios go into, like, full AI production of stuff, they're just going to do it all from streaming. And maybe that'll leave more room in the theaters for like actual independent artists. Because I've said before that I think that on the other side of this rush to AI generation, there's going to be a huge increase in the demand for whatever you want to call them, organic artists. People that are just like, people make a movie. Oh, Beetlejuice 2. That's the other one. I saw a TikTok that was like, what year is it? He was like this guy in the theater, and it's like Twisters, because that's it's the sequel to Twister, and then Beetlejuice 2. What else was in there? There was another one where it's like, this movie's just from the 90s. A movie date for 2 is more expensive than a nice dinner for 2. Yeah, probably these days. Well, you just, you sneak the candy in. But even still, even just getting like tickets and like a drink, like drinks and some popcorn, it's like 30, $40. It's too much. It's got to be real good. And Wolverine, Deadpool might be enough of a pull. Maybe Beetlejuice 2. Beetlejuice 2 I'm just going to wait for, probably. I don't know if I'd go for that. D&D movie totally flop. Advertising's never accounted. Oh, that's a good point. Good point. Made back its cost and worldwide. Yeah, but probably just barely. And that likely has to go to the series getting canceled, right? That's part of it, where it's just like, well, go to the movies more for Studio Ghibli movies. Oh, you know what's so sad? Down in Jacksonville, down in 5 Points, I guess they're going to be closing Sunray Cinema. And it's been up for, I don't know, 100 years or something. A really long time. We used to go watch Breaking Bad there when it was airing on AMC. And they've aired Studio Ghibli movies there before. I think we went and watched either Howl's or Spirited Away up there. Sign up for Movie Lovers Pass. You know, my buddy Alex was telling me about the benefit of the Movie Lovers Pass thing, because it's like a subscription thing and you can see several movies a week. It's just, or a month rather, but I don't know if I have the time set aside, you know? But yeah, I can't say I'm shocked that they're just trying to get more of their, trying to get more money off their IP. And we'll probably see a lot more. Part of the movie was supposed to pull in more players. No one started playing because of the movie. Yeah, probably not, man. I mean, Baldur's Gate 3 probably brought in way more players. Saw Castle in the Sky in theaters, $30 for ticket and popcorn. Yeah. Dang. Some things do look better on the big screen. That's true. There is value in like it being on a big screen and like having the audio there, and I don't know. I think it's also reminiscent of a time that we just don't really have anymore, like in the 90s, where it's just like a full theater. Because like even the movies that I've gone to in the last couple of years, theater's usually not that big. In fact, the last time I went to see a movie where the theater was like pretty packed was when we went and watched Empire. I can't remember if it was Empire or Return. It was either Empire, either The Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. Might have been Return. Anyway, we went and saw it in the theater, and that was packed out. But, I mean, I think even when we went and saw Barbie and Dungeons and Dragons and stuff, not a lot of people. So, Tarantino says watching a movie with an audience makes a huge difference. Oh, yeah. Most definitely. And I remember those. I remember, oh man, I saw Hostel in theaters, and that was crazy. This woman like fainted, I think, when she was trying to get out of the theater. I think she was okay, but it was like, whew, that was rough. Opening night to The Matrix, that was an experience. So I didn't get to see The Matrix in theaters because I was too young. I think I was like 12 when it came out. But I did ultimately see it later as a teenager. Man, that would have been cool to get to see The Matrix in theaters. Some theaters do that where they'll just replay old stuff. That might be what the future of movie theaters looks like. All right, we got more questions. Thank you for the question, Robert. Much appreciated. The next question's from Chris. Another Chris question. Chris asks, it is that time of year where many adventurers graduate and begin their journey in the wilds. What advice would you have for these young heroes? Thank you for the question, Chris. My advice to anyone, regardless of age or stage of life, is to invest in yourself. Bet on yourself and be nice to yourself. I'm not as good as I'd like to be at the last one. But I think if you do those things, you'll be mostly okay. Oh, and don't join a cult. Don't do that. If it feels like it might be a cult, it's probably a cult. You got to get a good bullshit detector. You know, that's one of the things. I was fortunate enough to be a fan of George Carlin early in my life. I think he helped me develop a pretty good one. Don't let people bullshit you. And I think that if you surround yourself with people that keep you grounded in who you are, you'll be okay. Work hard and be nice to people. That's what my keychain says. Try to do that. I think that's a good one. But if the space-time documentary taught me anything, it's that everything is happening everywhere all the time with everyone. and we're all the same thing. So just enjoy the time you have. That's my advice. And yeah, betting on yourself, I think, is like, you know, the system seems that it feels like it should, and it appears that it would reward those of us who work the hardest and try our best to, contribute to society positively without contributing to it negatively or without hurting others. And on paper, that's probably true, but doesn't really work that way in practice. So my best recommendation would just be to like always bet on yourself, because you have your loved ones, but some of us aren't as lucky to have the loved ones that we want or need. I'm not saying that's me, by the way. I have great loved ones, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's a big, scary, crazy world, and so just trust yourself, I suppose. It's all about the journey, yeah. And the journey being the destination is a big one that I never really got until I got older. But I think I've talked about it before too. There's a comedian named Eric Griffin that said it this way, and I just appreciate the imagery because I can kind of understand what he meant. He likened it to really with anything, but especially with the career of an artist. He likened it to walking on a treadmill at a really small incline. So such that you don't really recognize how much you've done and accomplished until you look back. It's difficult to see it as it's happening because it's just well, it's very gradual. Kind of a downer, but I want to hit home. The thing older people never told me is that as you get older, you'll have to say goodbye to more friends. Oh yeah, that's tough. And that's true. And that just comes with life for all of us, I think, regardless of age. Probably, obviously, more as you get older, but yeah, it's tough, and none of it's really promised to any of us, and we don't even know if it's real. That's the thing too, at least for me. It's I don't even know if this is a simulation or not. So I just try to do the best I can, and don't panic, as Stacy reminds us from the wise words of Douglas Adams and The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I think that's a really solid, succinct piece of advice, is just don't panic. So I don't have to wait too much longer, being 45. What is that, 8 years? Oh, God. All right, let's move on. Next question. Thank you for that question, Chris. Those were my words of advice for those people. The next question is from Amanda. Oh, and I had to scramble to put this kind of cast for this together, but I think it's pretty cool. I think it worked out. All right, so Amanda asks, hello, Bard, from this crazy mess of a city, H-Town. Oh, yeah, I hope everything's okay over there. It's been crazy lately. I was having a discussion with some friends and wanted to get your and chat's opinion. If you made a campaign set in the Nintendo universe where each continent represents a different Mario world, what characters would you use in your campaign? What class would they be? And who would be your BBEG? Thanks for your input, and happy birthday. I don't know why I spelled input with an M. You didn't. I did. But thank you for the question. Appreciated. So, I kind of had to... Okay, so I'm not sure if I'm allowed to just... I'm not sure if I'm supposed to just be using Mario characters or all Nintendo characters, but I erred on the side of including the entire universe and came up with a pretty cool party. So, I actually just used characters from Super Smash Brothers as a basis, just as kind of a list of these are Nintendo characters. So... I kind of built it backwards. The BBEG, I started with the BBEG first, and because that's because it's gonna kind of guide the story a bit, I think it'd be really cool to have Palutena from Kid Icarus be the BBEG, but make it where it's a thing where Ganondorf has cast a spell on her such that she's under his control. So, you think that it's Palutena, but it's that can't be. She's not a villain. First order of business is you take Pit's wings away. So, he's going to be the leader and the ranger of the party on this quest to, not necessarily defeat Palutena, but, ultimately to defeat Ganondorf and then break the spell and save her. But they have to fight her at some point, I think. I'd have Diddy Kong in there as a rogue bard. Ike from Fire Emblem as a barbarian fighter. Zelda as the sorcerer slash wizard. Love Zelda. Gotta love Zelda. Oh, I'm wearing my Zelda shirt. And maybe Olimar as a druid artificer, question mark. Also, just like honorable mention, Mr. Game & Watch. I feel like oh man, I would have so much fun playing a Game & Watch character in D&D. So that's the party that I built. It's Pit, Diddy Kong, Ike, Zelda, and Olimar, and they've got a save Palutena from Ganondorf's control. Now, I did go ahead and actually put together a list of just Mario. So if I'm limited to just Mario, I think it'd be fun to do an evil campaign where the BBEG is Mario, and then the players can choose to be villains like Bowser's kids, because he's got like 8 of them, or Kami, or even like small baddies, like if you wanted to build out like a Bullet Bill or a Dry Bones, or even some kind of like Koopa. I think that'd be really fun. And they could fight other of the good characters along the way, like Peach and Luigi as like mini bosses and stuff. Also, didn't they release the new Paper Mario? Didn't we talk about this? I was Shy Guy for Halloween one year. What, new Paper Mario? Is that already out? I really should probably cop that because I have a Switch. Yep, it's out. And I've heard it's fantastic. That's right. Toad is the artificer. Most definitely. Yeah, just the characters themselves. I feel like Mario strikes me as like either a Sork or like a fighter. He would actually probably be like an Eldritch Knight fighter. Mario. Okay, let's see what people are saying in chat. My BBEG would be an evil team-up of Bowser and Ganondorf. Nice. Clerics all around. No one expects the Spanish Inquisition. Wario would be my rogue. Luigi would be my bard. Oh, that's fun. Peach would be the druid. Zelda the assassin. Mario would be your paladin. Diddy Kong would be your secret BBEG. What? Diddy Kong's not evil. May 23rd, 2020. Oh, that's when it came out. Okay, cool. Boy, howdy. Yeah, I sure would like to check that out. I think that's one of the best Mario games ever, really. I think a lot of people do. Oh, here's Beans. He's got Dr. Wily as the BBEG. Jimmy Lee from Double Dragon. Oh, heck yeah. I've forgotten all about these, like, OG Nintendo characters. Monk, Black Mage from Final Fantasy. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Jimmy Lee from Double Dragon is the monk. Black Mage from Final Fantasy is the wizard. Samus from Metroid is the fighter. Kirby is the druid. Wild shape. One character is the piranha plant. Another character has to carry them around. Yeah. I think that'd be really fun. Luigi's Mansion, he is the Eldritch Knight. Yeah, I haven't really played a Mario game, I don't think. I guess we have like Super 3D World, which is fun. And Super Mario Maker was cool. I like any of those ones where we could build our own maps. Those were always fun. So yeah, that's my Nintendo team. And we've got 2 more questions to do before we do chat. So I want to get going, but I think I got an answer in there. If you want to do the opposite, Mario and Peach are the BBEG. Bowser's trapped, and now the Bowser kids have to team up and fight back. Beethoven is the bard, for example. Exactly. See, Chris gets it. You could run the whole party as Bowser's kids and then just class them accordingly. I think that'd be so fun. Wait a minute. Isn't it Ludwig? Okay. Well, thank you for the question, Amanda. Hope that gives you an answer. I think that was a fun exercise, and maybe that's giving people ideas for stuff they want to do. So the next question we have is from Chris, another Chris question. And Chris asks, hey there, Bard, another question from the member of the Council of Chris. When it comes to spells that have added bonuses at higher levels, i.e. extra projectiles or damage at levels 5, 11, and 17, do you gain this effect when multiclass by a total level or the specific class to which that spell is attached? For example, Eldritch Blast gains a second beam at level 5. If I'm 3 levels of Warlock and 3 of Bard, will I get the second beam because I'm technically level 6? Or no, because I'm only level 3 into Warlock? Thanks in advance and keep on rapping, streaming, and flim-flamming. We love you. Well, thank you very much, Chris. That's very kind of you. Okay. Now, I felt very confident that I knew the answer to this question, but I also felt confident that I knew the answer to Mark's question at the beginning, and turned out that I was wrong, because 5e is not the same as 3-5. So I originally thought this question was about upcasting, but then I reread it, and now I think I understand. At least from my understanding for how it worked in 3.5, I would hope that this is the same in 5e, but I don't know for sure. From my understanding, any bonuses offered to you by a class level do so only specifically in that class unless otherwise noted, which is to say it's the second thing. Like, beyond having a magical item that grants it to you, the only way that you could take advantage of the second Eldritch Blast beam is if you were, in fact, a level 5 Warlock, or at least had 5 levels in Warlock. That's to say, you might consider dropping 2 classes in Bard and putting them into Warlock if you want that second beam. Take it from Cowboy Owl. Eldritch Blast is pretty cool. But let me see what people in chat are saying. Cantrips character level. Leveled spell by higher leveled spell slots. Yeah, but don't you have to have known spells? I guess it depends on which class you are. I think it depends on the type of spell and your caster level. Yeah, probably. Because don't wizards and sorks just get like level 1 Warlock, level 16 Monk gets 4 Eldritch Blasts. Whoa. How does that work? That's how they play it where I play. That's how I would play it. That would be, because I think, again, it's like the opposite of the other thing, where I guess it's the same as the other thing that we were talking about earlier, but it keeps you from being totally kind of broken. Because if you were, if you're level 3, what did you say? You're level 3 Warlock, 3 Bard, and 2 Eldritch Blasts. That's pretty crazy. It seems to me that the second Eldritch Blast is the benefit that you get for being a 5th level Warlock. Right? Or a 5th level anything. Say magic missile so many bolts per caster level. Full caster. Level 17 character would only have 1 level 1 spell slots for Armor of Agathis. Interesting. Cantrip scaling is total level, not class level. Cantrips get stronger. Oh, I forgot that Eldritch Blast is a cantrip. Okay, so that's part of the problem. Cantrips don't use spell slots, so it's character level. See? This is why we have chat. Thank you, chat. So I am incorrect in my understanding of Raw, because it seems like the benefit to a particular spell is based on the level of the spell, or rather your character's level, right? Which that does make sense, because for all intents and purposes, you're a level 6 character. Even though you're even though your levels are split among classes, your character is level 6. So if your character is level 6, that means that at level 5, you would have gotten the opportunity, assuming you can cast Eldritch Blast, which I guess you can. Yeah. That totally makes sense. And I even mentioned Cowboy Owl. What am I thinking? Cowboy Owl was like a ranger, warlock, fighter thing. I think by the end, he was like a ranger, rogue, warlock. But that's to say that I had, I think, 3 Eldritch Blasts by the time I was level 12. Regardless, so. As a first-time player playing live with an experienced DM, steer me away from multiclassing as a sork because of this. I guess it could be confusing, and probably even more so with like leveled spells, because it's gonna matter if you know the spell and like if it's on your list or something. But I totally forgot that Eldritch was a cantrip. So yeah, I guess that's true. I mean, it's based on your caster level, probably, is more likely. but I guess character level, because technically all classes are casters now. Technically, or could be. Spell slots is casting class level. Leveled spells different from cantrips. Don't pretend to fully understand the rules, though. Yeah, and this is also, I think, this is a great example of a time where you just kind of like can defer to the DM as to how they want to do it. But I guess it makes sense that it's character level, because it is a cantrip after all. You would assume that a level 5 character of any class in D&D would have the capability to cast a cantrip of some sort. And if they are indeed level 5 or higher, then they would get that boost with it. So your Dark Urge build is the Eldritch Machine Gun build. 4 levels in Champion Fighter, and the rest is Warlock. It's a crit machine. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I bet that's nuts. Okay. Well, thank you for the question, Chris. Hopefully that answers it. Seems like it's character level based, so even though your levels are split among... Oh, hold on, there's the race car guy. Even though your levels are split among classes, your character level is going to be what dictates those cantrip improvements. Got it. Great old one, that's right. Yeah, I was trying to remember what that was. Yeah, great old word Warlock for the fear effect on crits. Yeah, that's pretty nuts. Okay, so thank you for the question, Chris. We have one last question this evening, and then we'll do a little bit of chat. So that one was from Chris. This last question of the evening is from Nick. And Nick asks, hey, Yazek, as a nerdy sports fan, I suspect you might have interest in the new college football game set to come out this summer, yes? Are you planning on playing it? If so, do you have a particular team you intend to use? Thanks from a fellow sports nerd. Well, thank you, Nick, very much for the question. Also, always nice to have like a nerdy sports nerd who gets that crossover that so many people don't. I wrote that script for that video, by the way. I'm going to probably put it together this weekend. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to be getting College Football 25, more than likely. I played them when I was a kid and was in high school. When did the first one come out? Like 03? And then they only made it through, I think, 14. I didn't play a lot of the older ones. I probably stopped around like 9 or 10. And I was always a fan of them. It's been a decade since we've gotten one. And I'm pretty hyped. The soundtrack is crazy. The customization, I think, is going to be excellent. I'm disappointed to hear that the Dynasty mode won't be cross-platform or like cross-play, but I usually do Road to Glory or Career mode anyway. So I have my reservations about that, though, because I've heard that the Road to Glory is just kind of going to be a copy-paste from like 14. And that's unfortunate, because usually the career mode in these games doesn't get a whole lot of attention or love as far as just like, I don't know, making a really, really enjoyable experience. I was just telling my buddy the other day, I got 2K24. I finally broke down and bought 2K24 a few months back because it was on sale for like $8 or something. And I've been playing it. And they have, like, my career is like, there's essentially no story. It's so lame and terrible. Like, you don't even like, you don't even like have a college that you went to as much as it just starts and you like pick which team's gonna draft you or like what team you're gonna play for. But I think that so I usually do Road to Glory and the career stuff, so I don't know that I would play a specific team, but I do like that there's gonna be, I don't know, I always liked Hawaii. I just kind of like the vibe and also like the uniforms and stuff of Hawaii. Plus, they're kind of like an underdog kind of team in the sense of like they don't have a lot of like a storied history in being champions. I kind of grew up in like a Florida household, and then my grandfather's an FSU fan. I got a lot of friends that are FSU fans. Around these parts, there's a lot of Florida fans, a lot of Florida State fans, a lot of Georgia fans. My buddy Alex is a Georgia fan. Alex is a Georgia fan. I know he'll be playing with them. Actually, I think he's going to be playing with Kennesaw State, but Isn't crossplay a miserable experience connection-wise for many players, though? Why do you prefer having crossplay? For me, I prefer having crossplay just because, like, my friends have different stuff than me. I'm a PC gamer, so I don't have an Xbox or a PlayStation. I have in the past. I used to be kind of more of an Xbox person, but I just do PC now, especially since I built my own a few years ago. So any of my gaming is just done on PC. Oh, take it easy, River. Have a good one. But yeah, I don't think I would play any like powerhouse team. I think it'd be fun to play like a small team and like get them to the championship. And it'll be really cool, I guess, for it to be like with the college playoffs. So for friends, makes sense. Yeah. Well, and that's the trouble, right? Because like a lot of these games, I think, from a design standpoint and from like a communication and interface standpoint, most, like the overwhelming number of people that play these games online do so competitively. So when they're building out a game, there are less of us like sports nerds that want to treat it like an RPG. And so they put, I think, a lot of the effort into that kind of crossplay. But I know that Ultimate Team and stuff will still be crossplay from what I hear. It's just the Dynasty mode won't be, which is just kind of, Be able to set up a bardadvice Minecraft server? I suppose that I could. I do have Minecraft. I have been playing, well, not lately, but like within the last year. I have a little Minecraft, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to that. That'd be kind of fun. Could build stuff in there. Just hang. So, yeah, that's my answer for college football. Thanks for the question, Nick. Yeah, I'll definitely be getting it. And then I saw something. What was it? How's the Boston Celtics going to take out Dallas? That's a great question, Pirate. I don't know, actually. I think I'd like to officially change my tone on that before the series starts. I think that Luka and Kyrie are on track to, if they win this championship, they'll probably be considered the best backcourt of all time. And I've never been the biggest fan of Luka, admittedly, and I don't know what it is. I think that maybe it's because when he got into the league, I wasn't paying as much attention as I normally do to basketball, so I didn't know a lot about him as far as like his history and stuff. I just thought he was just like this European guy, and there's tons of European guys, and I knew that he was good, but until I watched him in this Timberwolves series, I did not realize what kind of a problem Boston's going to have to deal with this guy, because I think that he's bigger than people, at least for me, he's bigger than I think he is, because he's 6'7", and he's long. And I don't know if I've ever seen somebody do a step back like him. It's really crazy. So I think it's going to be the Mavs. And I've said all year that the Boston Celtics are the Baltimore Ravens of the, this is their championship to lose. And the Ravens lost their opportunity. So I don't know. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to the Celtics, just because I feel like, they've been for so many times. And so part of me feels like maybe they deserve it. But then the other part of me feels like, is this just like those 90s Bills, where they just like went to the Super Bowl 4 times in a row and just never won? Like, somebody's got to lose. So I don't know. After seeing Luka's performance and then just like knowing what Kyrie is and what he can do, I might have to say it Mavs in 5 or 6 at this point. So, all right. Well, we're officially into chat. So how's everybody out there doing? What's going on? What's the business? Good things of the week? I think I had something marked down here for chat. Oh, it was just to talk about the NBA Finals, which we just did. Well, my good thing of the week is that it's my birthday, I guess, which is nice only in the sense that it gave me kind of a day to just chill. It was great. I slept until the afternoon. I went and saw my grandma for a bit, went by the vape store, went a few places, came home, spent some time with my beautiful, wonderful wife, and then have been doing this. So it's fun. Still Celtics in 4? Yeah. I worry about Celtics' ability to deal with Dallas's height, but we'll see. Not a daddy day on Sunday. Oh, okay. Well, congratulations, ? I mean, it is an elective surgery, so I suppose Congratulations are in order. I hope everything goes well. Oh my gosh, yeah, Amanda, my wife and I watched that the other night. That, uh, um, yeah, I'll see you, Mom. Love you. Um, yeah, we watched that Reading Rainbow documentary as well. It is very, it's like tear jerking, and yeah, I think LeVar Burton's so cool. I was always a big fan of Geordie on Next Gen, and just all of his work that he did with Reading Rainbow. And it was a good documentary. I recommend checking it. Man, I should have recommended that for Art Corner. There's a squirrel. Oh, no. Oh, you know what? I did see that. I'd forgotten about that. About the squirrel. Somebody chased a squirrel into your house and you got a squirrel in the house? That's tough. I don't know. My wife and I had a dog in the backyard the other day. Thankfully, he wandered on, but it was a bit of a weird thing. And then, yeah, I saw the squirrel thing. I don't know, beyond calling animal control or the animal people, but it might be easier to just like Google and see how to lure it out, maybe, or sweep it out with a broom or something. Oh, thank you very much, Purple Mer, for the gifted memberships. It's very kind of you. And we appreciate it here at the channel as well. Thank you. It keeps things going here. Good thing you just made it through unscathed through really bad tornadoes and baseball-sized hail. Yeah, and I should have asked about that too. I hope that everybody is okay through all that mess. And is this still ongoing? I don't know. I haven't been, I have not been paying much attention to news as of late, so I don't know. I'm behind on things. Finally upgraded your computer's graphics card after a decade. Nice. That's always a good feeling. Enjoy your gaming. Revising your resume to start job hunting again. Yeah, I feel that. I feel that. I might actually be doing that shortly myself. Leave the window open and push it towards the window. It will go out. Oh, okay. Trap set up with apple slices and peanut butter. That's pretty cool. More storms coming this weekend. Gee whiz. King dissolved Parliament. Well, that's not totally unheard of, right? Don't they do that from time to time? That's what the King did in the Mary and George thing, where Parliament was like not a thing. And then I guess they like, I don't know, they do that, right? They take it apart, put it back together. So, yeah, hopefully hopefully everybody's okay and staying safe in all those tornadoes. But yeah, I feel that. I've been looking into some stuff and seeing maybe what I might want to do. Maybe I might end up at Amazon, honestly. So, well, I should do, but can't. What's that? It's like how our government threatens to shut itself down every time they get to vote on a budget. Yeah, I know, it's tough. Yeah. Looking for an easy remote work, look up medical record retrieval or EHR. Oh, thanks for the tip. Might look into that. I will say that hope to get to the beach soon. Blue Springs. Wear gloves. Oh, squirrels. Yeah. Be careful. The Gulf is the hottest temperature on record ever right now. They say we're supposed to get severe hurricanes this year. Yeah, I'm a little tripped about that myself, actually, because I saw this graphic, and it was like the activity in the Atlantic the year of Hurricane Katrina versus the activity or readings in the Atlantic this year, and indeed, it looks like we are on pace for some storms, some big hurricanes. But I will say, at least for me, the good news is like we're pretty inland, so even in bad ones, it's not terrible. The worst thing for us is usually just like losing the power and like potential property damage. But who knows? Who knows what's coming down the track in 2024? Daughter had injured her knee in softball a few weeks ago. Today she went on a field trip and it didn't hurt, so it's healing. Nice. Very late. Something put out a snow video last Sunday. Oh, no. Yeah, sorry about that, folks. As far as the additions go, yeah, I know we've missed the last 2 weeks. Do just taking just a little bit of a break, but they're going to come back, and we might bring the debates back. I'm not sure. One of the physical gigs, and they're doing some at home. Peanut butter, apples, and celery is a good snack. That is random. Both kiddos graduated 8th grade today, so you officially have 2 high schoolers. Nice. Downton Abbey might be coming back. Oh, that's good. Taking a break from vids. Not necessarily, no. Well, we have just for the last 2 weeks, but there's one this Sunday. A comet. I don't know about all that. Couldn't tell you about it. Well, about time to be hitting the old dusty trail, I suppose. I'm surprised that we're already here at the end. These things always go by so fast. But that was a real fun birthday cast, and I'm happy that you all were here to be a part of it. Before we get out of here, let's do these little things that we like to do. The first of which is to remind everybody of the email address, which is bardadvice@gmail.com. It also looks like bardadvice. Please send all of your questions, concerns, criticisms, critiques, etc. to bardadvice@gmail.com. If you want to get some merchandise, you can do so over at manshorts.com, or more notably over at crackendice.com, where you can get one of our 3 already released sets, the 4th of which will be coming soon. And if you'd like to contribute to anything that I'm doing musically, you can do so directly via PayPal, Cash App, or Venmo, all of which are Yazik, Yahzick. We will be back here next week, same Bard time, same Bard channel, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Man Shorts YouTube channel. The audio for this podcast will be made available tomorrow, as always, at 12 p.m. noon Eastern Standard Time. One last thank you, of course, to our members, patrons, subscribers. Remind everybody to like, comment, subscribe, turn on notifications, and rate the podcast on your respective platforms. I hope that everybody has a fantastic weekend and an even better week, and we will see you next time.